Frank, Frank, Frank. Frank, 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 Frank.
I believe we're live now.
Are we live?
I had to switch it from private to public.
Ah,
Good thing I went in
there
there
we
and I
go.
saw it. Yeah.
I told you.
Nice.
Who knows if anybody else is watching? Oh, okay. I just got the live notification on my phone, so now it's getting pushed out to all our loyal subscribers.
I told it to be public, and it still did private.
It still did private. It's public now, man.
It's working.
That's all that matters. All that matters.
Okay.
It's what are you gonna do? Things happen.
What are we gonna do? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Boy. Well, okay, so for those,
Janine's there. Sean
I'm
is
echoing.
echoing. She says.
Janine. Sean is echoing. Oh my goodness gracious.
Echo.
Echo. Sean's least favorite clone. Echo.
Why? Why do you not like Echo,
His
man?
second least favorite clone is Tech because of all the difficulties. Hunter's fine though.
I don't honestly know how to fix my echo. I don't even
Because
know
you're not
where I would
echoing
begin.
for us. You're not echoing
No,
for me.
I don't hear an echo.
Maybe Janine's trying to pull a fast one. Hey,
I
Jill.
sure fucking hope not.
Christine in the chat.
Christine. I
Wow,
don't know.
you're just full of nicknames, Brandon.
Is that a good nickname? I don't want to give anyone a bad nickname.
It doesn't sound like it's connected to my mic.
Oh.
Audio.
Sean was so busy worried about the rest of us, he forgot about himself.
No, I did
Wow.
that. I did mine.
That's just the
first.
kind of guy he is.
Okay, so
See, I was trying to give
stream
you a
later.
compliment. You were like, "No, I'm a selfish man."
No, because
Thought
I
about
want to make sure I
myself
covered my ass.
Show me a man that isn't selfish. Am I right?
Yeah, you're right. I can't. Okay.
Wait, do you mean I'm echoing quite quiet, or my mic volume is quiet?
But quite quiet. I would assume the microphone audio.
Sean, are you lost in a well?
Hello down there. One thing's for sure. We're all gonna be a lot thinner.
I understood that
it's,
one.
It's a trash compactor. Well, what are you gonna
Frank,
do?
would you be cracking one-liners if you were about to die?
Probably, yeah. Actually, be like, well, we're all gonna be a lot deader in a little bit.
How about now? How does that sound?
Tell him, folks. Tell him, Andy.
Tell
How's it
him.
going?
And then someone tell me why there's a sea monster inside of the garbage on the Death Star.
You know what? I think
Louder, but still echo.
interesting.
Great. Oh.
Oh, do you have to turn off the echo button?
Hey, how about now?
You gotta keep talking for them to know that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm going to work on that. My camera. So I think what's going on is I think my camera is also capturing audio, but I can see that clearly OBS is capturing me.
Still echoing, they say.
I
Out in the
think.
streets.
Yeah, this should fix it.
He says
right here.
fixed. He says
Yeah,
fixed.
I just fixed.
All
it.
right.
And you can hear me better.
Ooh.
Can you hear me better? Like,
He says
am I
much
loud
better.
enough now? So,
Phenomenal.
OBS was capturing both my mic output and my camera output,
Can't have
Silly
that.
OBS.
but for some reason it was prioritizing the camera output. Anyways,
what a dummy.
Hey everybody, welcome to this.
You're part of
wonderful,
history, folks. Part of history.
First Scoundrels live stream, Scoundrels Live, if you will.
Doesn't have the same ring to it.
So
Rink?
most people, when they do these wonderful streams, they do streams from StreamYards because it's easy. I decided to go the hard route, so we had full integration.
Like a typical man.
Well, I mean, I thought it would be,
But it's working.
It's working now. And Kevin was like, "Hey, I didn't know we were going live Friday. I'm unavailable. It's Kevin's birthday, or yesterday was Kevin's birthday."
Yesterday.
So, and I said, "Oh, we already knew you couldn't make it because it's your birthday. This is more of a test for our Monday stream, which will be full review of everything." So anyways, yay, technical difficulties. Tomorrow morning will be much smoother because we're most likely doing this again tomorrow morning. Anyways, we had a lot of reveals today, guys. We had the announcement of 3 Star Wars films. We had trailers for Andor, Ahsoka, Skeleton Crew, and Acolyte. Now, we only saw the Ahsoka one. Technically, I saw the other ones too, but it's fine.
You went and looked at the leaks.
He
You
flew
took
to
a
London.
leak. He took a leak, Brandon.
I
flew
might
to
have taken a
London.
leak. I flew to London.
How did Maddie Gunner get you in the building?
Yeah, okay, I would tell you, Maddie Gunner would have done anything to get me in that damn building today.
I believe it.
Yeah, Maddie Gunner is
He's a true scoundrel.
Is a good
what I'm
boy.
saying?
In fact, Maddie Gunner was very happy we gave him a shout out last episode, so that's fun. Have we tweeted that we're live? That's a great question. No, I don't think we have. With the new link.
Yeah, I didn't have a link, so I just tweeted out hello there.
The channel.
I frankly don't want to touch anything at this point. If it's working, I just want to leave it working.
So much as a whisper, it will,
Whisper.
poof. We're live. That's I can't remember the exact line from Gladiator, but Marcus Aurelius says that, I think, to Maximus. And this isn't a Gladiator stream, obviously. This is a Star Wars.
Yeah, who wins in
stream.
a fight, Marcus Aurelius or B2 Emo? But he's real pissed off.
I mean, I have the gladiator's sword right there. If we need it to become a gladiator stream.
Okay.
B2 Emo, but he's so angry because he just heard you talk crap about Marva.
Guys, speaking of Mourner, last little plug. Andy Fing brings up a great point. If you're a fan of us, you should check out our friends over at Mourner.
Snoke on
and
the
their
water.
new and their new song released today, The Axe Forgets. Link will not be in the description because I don't want to screw with the live stream anymore. But let's get right into it. Where do we want to start? We want to start with movies. I think we should go movies and then TV shows. And the reason for that is we're going to talk some of what was leaked for the TV shows. And I know some people don't necessarily want to see the leak stuff.
Yeah, let's start with the movies.
So
Movies.
So they started by showing
Wait, Brandon's got to say in the B2 emo voice. Movies.
I want to talk about movies.
movie. No, that's
We are
Wall-E.
so
I'm
dumb.
thinking Wall-E.
Yeah.
So they
Kinda.
started with this
Whoa.
awesome image. Star Wars
Yeah,
canon
special
timeline.
effects.
Revealed at Star Wars Celebration. And actually, this is I guess technically this isn't the actual image. It's a redo of the image by Reddit user iGucci or Grucci.
Yeah. Did a great job on it, I gotta tell you.
So yeah, I think it looks great. I love the I mean, it's really interesting to see, right? Because we have the Dawn of the Jedi era and the Old Republic, which being directly represented like this is kind of interesting. And then having the New Jedi Order icon is really interesting as well. Because the New Jedi Order, that's legend shit. You know?
yeah.
So I find this fascinating.
I think it's great that they put it out there. And
Rey's gonna train Kyle Katarn, confirmed.
I
And
think
her
it's
and
great that
Grogu
it's
are gonna
like
get married.
I think it's great that it's laid out like this because it's a lot easier to be like to know where like these movies are gonna fall in place, especially for like the layman fan of like where, even though they probably are a little confused about all these names,
Right.
but they're like, is it in the middle of the timeline, the beginning, or the end? So at least that's somewhat useful.
I mean, I always think like if I show my dad this, is he going to understand what half of this is? Probably
Yeah,
not.
I was gonna say, I could see like someone looking at this graphic and being really overwhelmed.
Absolutely, but at Celebration, it's going to make sense. So
Mhm.
we have, and I'll pull that back up in a minute. They announced 3 movies. they announced the James Mangold Dawn of the
Dave
Jedi
Filoni.
film,
Yeah.
which
That
is
era.
set
Yeah.
which is set 2,500 years before
25,000.
25,000 years before anything
Yeah.
else. And it will follow the first Jedi. They said it's going to be sort of analogous to Ben-Hur or
Biblical
yeah,
type
very
of
biblical
movie.
Ten
Ten
Commandments.
Commandments, Ben-Hur, that type of thing.
Are these going to be? They have to be like pre-lightsaber Jedi. Are they going to have like swords?
Potentially, I think that's pretty dope if they do.
That would be interesting.
Like vibro blades made? Yeah, maybe even that might happen.
I mean,
But
how?
25, like, what's the technology look like 25,000 years ago in this
That's what I'm
world or this
wondering.
universe? That's going to be really interesting.
And so, like, the universe is 13.7 billion years old, and Star Wars takes place a long time ago, and then this takes place a long time before that. So
What are you
it's
getting
getting
at?
pretty close to the Big Bang, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of spot on with that. I want to show something here, because this was an image associated with Taika's original script that we didn't have full information on, and this is the logo for Taika's Star Wars movie, or like what he had shared as part of his Star Wars movie, right? Which is almost identical to the Ben-Hur title logo.
Yeah.
Which is these stone block letters. So I just find that
also
super
close to was it School of Rock or the
It is also close to School of Rock, yeah. No.
Not School of Rock. It's what is it
School
called?
Of Rock.
Yeah, it's not.
I'm Just a Bill.
Yeah, what was that called? I can't remember.
Schoolhouse Rock. Yeah.
Schoolhouse Rock. There it is. Okay, there we go.
So Mangold is quoted as saying it's a chance to tell the entire story on its own. The birth of the Force. When I first talked to Kathleen Kennedy about it, I just said, I just see this opening to make a kind of Ben-Hur or the Ten Commandments about the birth of the Force. The Force has become a kind of religious legend that spans through these movies, but where did it begin? Right? I find that super interesting.
I also find it kind of daunting, to be honest.
I find it very daunting because you can easily alienate people with this film, right?
Of the three movies, I think this one might be the one where I don't know if people are gonna, depending on what they do, and like it's way too premature to be like, I don't know if audiences are gonna gravitate towards it.
Right.
But if I had to guess of the three that would be like least receptive, it could possibly be this one because people are gonna have all types of ideas of what it could be, and then it might not turn out to be that in the movie itself. So but I love that they're going back this far, and because I think further, if you look at that timeline, it's gonna possibly lead into or start setting up Old Republic stories, and they'll have this movie as the foundation to eventually move into that area. So I think that's very cool.
And I hope you do. And I know, recurring guest of the channel, Kevin Smets, would really love us to go to the Old Republic, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's definitely a dangerous thing. Now, do you think this means, and chat's asking the same question, do you think this means we're not getting a Taika movie?
That doesn't mean that.
Okay.
I just think it might actually put a little bit more restraint on where Taika can go. He doesn't have such a free range anymore because now there might be something that's gonna kind of anchor him a bit, and that might actually help him, actually flesh out a story because he has something maybe a little bit at least to go to base it off of. If in fact he goes back that far, and it's connected in some way like that, so maybe he had too much of like freedom, and he was like, I need some parameters. And
So
now he's going to get it with at least, yeah. And so he might get that with this movie. I don't know.
Well, okay, but I guess because I see this is probably what Taika's movie was, but you're saying you think it's just another movie in addition to Taika's?
Well, because I mean, we're going to just do one movie in this era of the timeline. I don't think so, right?
Not necessarily, not necessarily. But why? Then I guess my question is, why didn't they announce the Taika film?
Because he's probably couldn't commit. Okay. I don't know to within the next probably like 10 years, right? So he's probably gonna be, and the movie might not ever happen, and like this wasn't like super like officially announced. I know it was like put out there, but it was never announced like at a celebration, right? Was it? No, it wasn't.
I don't
Was it
remember.
I think it was
I
like an
don't even
investor
remember what
day
it
meeting
was.
thing.
Yeah.
Um,
It was. I mean, because we had Rogue Squadron, we had Rogue Squadron, we had the Taika movie, we had the Benioff movie, right? No,
yeah,
Lindelof.
yeah.
Lindelof. Sorry,
Well,
David
Benioff and
Lindelof.
Weiss, yeah, they
Oh yeah,
were
and the
once
Benioff
part
and
of.
Weiss movie.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
That we all
Add them
have.
all to movies that'll never happen.
What was that?
Add them all to a list of movies that'll never
Right.
happen.
Well, and that's I guess my question is are we seeing like these are 3 films that we've heard nothing about. Now, I've said a few times on our Mando reviews, I expect Filoni, they're going to do a Defenders style crossover event for Mando, Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, and maybe Skeleton Crew. And we're seeing here now we know that
It's gonna be Avenger style, not Defender.
Dave Filoni, right, which is even better. Dave
Yeah.
Filoni is going to be directing a New Republic film that is going to conclude the connecting plots of Ahsoka, Mandalorian, and Book of Boba Fett. Now, I want to specify something here. Nothing says that will be the end of those shows.
Right.
Nowhere did they say that. There's a few people making some very bold claims on Twitter right now that it means hey, this means Mandalorian's ending. No, it doesn't mean that. Definitely doesn't mean that. Should I grab my cowboy hat and retake that line?
No, you're fine. Remember, you don't want to touch too much. This is a very fragile string.
I'm still wondering how far back the Dawn of the Jedi is.
It's 25,000 years.
But you want to know
there's
how,
definitely no hyperspace travel.
No,
that's right. That's right.
There isn't, because the High Republic is where they really refine hyperspace travel.
So
travel.
This is going to be more like the Star Wars solar system than the Star Wars galaxy.
Yeah, or they'll be on like big generation ships. Like it'll be a lot slower moving and it'll be a lot more.
I mean, it would be interesting to see like 3 or 4 people discovering the Force and seeing their own discoveries with it, and like how it might parallel to someone else's, and then like they start feeling other presence, across the galaxy. I don't know. You could do a lot of really cool stuff.
Yeah. Is this like you said? Is this like people feeling the Force for the first time, or is it like the Force being created?
Well,
because that could be really messy.
The way it's phrased, and again, like we're going off very limited information here, but the way it's phrased almost makes it sound to me like it is the dawn of the Force. Like the Force is an emerging power in and of itself. I'm sure I could pull up like Newsnet articles or something and find direct quotes, but it definitely seems to me like it's the Force is a new thing, right? Not that people are just discovering it. Seems to me like the Force is Andy took the words right what I was about to say. The Force is awakening. Right.
Yeah, that's
how the Force works.
Yeah, that's what. Well, the problem was Snoke just came out of the world between worlds, so when he says there's been an awakening, have you felt it? It's because he just stepped out of the world between worlds doorway.
Yeah, and he's Kino Loy, so thankfully there wasn't a swimming pool in the way.
Speaking of which, I don't think we're going to talk too much about it, but they did do they did some Andor discussion, and I guess Andy Serkis had mentioned that he had seen all the Kino Loy swimming games.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, how could he not at this point? Like they're all over the place.
Yeah. So,
but I want to go. So going back to the Dave Filoni, I do like this idea of Dave doing this movie because I think it's been a long time coming for him to direct a Star Wars movie. I mean, Rebels, and then he was in charge of that whole project, and then The Mandalorian. He started getting more live action directing opportunities there, and now Ahsoka, and then is going to build that into this Avenger style, for lack of a better phrase, style type of movie where, it's going to culminate these storylines that are being set up with Mandalorian, Ahsoka, Skeleton Crew. I don't know if maybe Boba Fett's in there too in some way. I think it'd be really interesting to see. Fett. Okay, that's what
you got to have Boba Fett. Come on,
Boba Fett. It's gonna be really interesting to see these characters that we've seen only on the small screen on the big screen in live action, and it's I'm really really excited for it, and and it looks like it's setting up Thrawn as like the big bad, right? And so it's going to go into that where what happens with Thrawn, because they could set it up where do they defeat Thrawn, or does he just
Fade away
go
into the
somewhere else, which is entirely possible.
Right. Yeah, and I'm very curious to see what they do with Thrawn, because there's been some discussion on, I follow a lot of, I'm on Reddit a lot, to call a spade a spade. There's been a lot of discussion in the more expanded universe Reddit threads that will Dave ignore the Zahn stuff that Zahn has written for Thrawn?
The new Thrawn books.
The new Thrawn books, right?
Yeah.
Because there's some implications there about the Skywalkers and about the nature of the Force and the nature of the galaxy and all this stuff, that I'm wondering if any of that will play in at all in Filoni's mind for Thrawn. Because if we're seeing Thrawn's end hypothetically in these movies, it means that that's your only time to double down on those and iterate on that. At least through Thrawn. You can iterate it through another character later, but if you want to iterate that through Thrawn and through Thrawn's story, this is kind of your chance to do it. And I'm curious if we're going to see that. I'm curious if we're going to see that through potentially the third film that we're going to talk about in a minute, or through the Ahsoka series, maybe.
I do think like the Ahsoka stuff is really going to set up the inevitable showdown, or final showdown at least, with Thrawn in the next in Filoni's movie. And it's gonna be really interesting to see who's left by then, and who's entered the game, so to speak. And a lot can still I can't wait to talk about Ahsoka, because that's just gonna be phenomenal. But I'm really excited for Dave to be getting this opportunity, because and also, there's the lately concerning Lucasfilm and announcing movies. This one is like a sure bet that it's going to happen. Right. This movie is absolutely going to happen. The other two, you can be pessimistic about it, but I still think they're all going to happen. But it is. I was like, if you're going to announce a movie, this is the one, because that almost has to happen. Your entire current run of shows like depends on this one, and you've already built, and you're building to this movie already in certain regards. So it's like 100% lock. I'm just curious when it will release, amongst these three.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, right? We don't have release dates for any of these three movies, so that's kind of where I see people speculating, like, oh, it's the end of the Mandalorian's gonna end. I'm like, I don't know that the Mandalorian's gonna end yet. Like, this movie could be 5 years out, and you want to keep this series going until that movie, right?
So I could see the Mandalorian ending, but I could still see Skeleton Crew continuing on after, and maybe Ahsoka gets a season 2, which was Rosario Dawson kind of teased it at the panel of like, if you guys like it enough, maybe you do season 2. Yeah, but I mean, sure, like, or just maybe Din and Grogu and Bo-Katan, they all go off in other adventures and join another show. I don't know, Doesn't mean those character stories end. Maybe just protect that particular storyline within that show, within the Mandalorian show. Maybe that could end possibly, but remains to be seen.
And we could still see Din and Grogu in other shows, right? They've already they've already proved they're not afraid to do that, right?
Right.
But
can't end it until Grogu wields the Darksaber.
I don't know that that's gonna. I don't know that I even want that to happen. Right? Like, everyone wants that. I don't know. I think that's kind of.
Well, can you even trim the blade down, or shorten the blade?
Yeah,
the hilt, first of all, is going to be at least 25% of his body. Even if he's full grown at some point, it's.
I want to see him do a flip, decapitate Moff Gideon, and then go, Pato.
That's his punchline. That's his
that's his catchphrase.
So
catchphrase,
most lightsabers have some sort of knob or adjustment. This one does not. So I don't know that you can adjust the blade.
Adjust it with the Force, bro.
I mean, if they want to, they can do it in the show, but it's gonna be interesting to be you're just gonna resize the hilt too, and
well, I don't think you have to resize the hilt.
It shrinks down like the One Ring.
Right.
Yeah. But anyways, let's go on to that third film, which I think weirdly enough, I think this is the one I'm most excited for, because it's the one I have the most like going into it
I mean,
blind, and I have the
it's
most
Daisy Ridley. I
well, and I
mean,
have the most hope
Ray.
for it, right? Because
Yeah.
I like Daisy, and I like a lot of the stuff that is in the sequel trilogy. So they brought out Daisy Ridley, and the fans went
It's
wild.
pretty cool.
Um,
I mean, we went wild when she posted on Instagram, like she was visiting Lucasfilm,
right.
and then look what happened. Look
I'm
what
just
ended up
having
happening.
lunch with some friends.
Yeah.
So for me, like I very publicly don't like Rise of Skywalker. I don't like how Rey's story concluded. I really don't like how Finn's story concluded. So I'm hoping that this film can redeem some of that in my eyes. And I don't know if that's their goal, but I kind of assume that that's what they're going for with this, right? Like if
I mean, they certainly have the opportunity to do
Mhm.
other things with these characters that perhaps even the own actors would have liked to have seen
Right.
done in the sequel trilogy. And yeah, obviously with this movie taking place 15 years after the Rise of Skywalker, in this era, I think it's called the Dawn of the Jedi or New Order,
The New Jedi Order, yeah.
New Jedi Order, yeah.
The new
So
Jedi will
Ray is
rise.
going to be at this point very experienced with the ways of the Force more than we've ever seen her. Which there's also again inevitably you're going to hear about, is John Boyega Finn going to come
Right.
back? I hope
better.
so.
Which
I
think
absolutely hope so.
I think
as
the
a Jedi,
I think the question isn't whether or not Lucasfilm would like him to come back, but whether or not John is willing to come back.
oh totally,
Right?
totally.
And so that's kind of where I'm worried about it. I'm hoping.
Well,
that,
I mean, if you tell John Boyega, you'd be a Jedi in this one, dude. Like,
yeah. Well,
And
I
also-
hope
Also,
that's
Here's an
something
apology
slated.
letter and a dump truck full of
here's
money.
this is an unfounded wild prediction, right? But I don't think Rey will be the main character of this movie.
Oh,
I think
I
think Rey, well, in so much as Obi-Wan is not the main character of Revenge of the Sith, right? Like, although maybe he
okay.
is. Maybe that's
I
wrong.
mean, it's
maybe
like
he
split.
is the
It's
yeah. Maybe
split
he is the,
between yeah.
But like I think Daisy will play the mentor figure.
I don't see her being a secondary character. She could be like a co-lead. I would.
Mhm.
I don't think she'll take on the role of like a Luke Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi and that type. Like, sure, she could be a mentor of sorts, but I think she's also going to be spearheading this new Jedi Order, which will still relatively be somewhat young. This order, relatively speaking, to this timeline period. So, and I think Jill also brought it up earlier in the chat. Grogu is gonna be getting close to 100 years old at this point. So, you mean to tell me they have a movie this far out from Rise of Skywalker and they're not going to put Grogu in there? I would bet a lot of money that Grogu is in this movie.
But
Yeah,
Grogu's not a
Grogu-
Jedi, right?
Grogu would be like
Mandalorian.
87.
Doesn't mean he can't be in the movie.
Well, okay, but the Grogu not a Jedi. I think that's a topic for another day, right? But I do think that
Yeah.
there's a little bit of a gray area on that, because the way the term Jedi is used in this era is not the way that we as fans use the term Jedi, right? Because we use the term Jedi to be like an adherent to the Jedi Order, someone who follows the Jedi
Right.
teachings. But it definitely seems like when they use the term Jedi to refer to Grogu, they're doing it more as a cultural or almost species thing, because they don't have a better word for what he is. Which,
That's true,
hey, maybe the James Mangold movie is going to just be for Grogu learning about the
Oh.
Force.
But like,
For Yoda.
I hope they don't, because I think that was one of the actual wishes of George. It was like to not explore like the origins of that species, and so I'm like that should remain a mystery. Like, I'm all on board. I don't. There's no like itch that they will scratch by telling me, the origin of the species, because we don't need to know. So yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brandon.
Do we have anything else on the
We have a quota to meet up with those, so you make sure you keep representing
on,
that, yeah.
on Padu? Do we have anything else we want to hit on the movies? Which one are you most excited for? I guess.
I'm most excited for the Daisy one,
Okay.
because she's coming. And look, we all know about the Damon Lindelof stuff, and Shreem, she's still like on board with this movie. So like, it's going from David Lindelof to what's the guy's Travis something I think his name is, or
I
I
don't know.
forget.
I have
He's
no idea.
the Peaky Blinders writer. So like, he's coming in, and she seems very.
Do we know that this is the Lindelof movie, or are we just assuming? We're just
No, but yeah.
Okay.
He worked. Yeah, he wrote some part of the script or a script, and then remember they parted ways after that, and then they brought in the new writer. So I don't know how much they kept of Damon Lindelof stuff, if any. Probably not. I don't know, but I'm really excited to see the story after Rise of Skywalker. It's something I've wanted to see, whether it was on a TV show or video game or a comic, whatever. We haven't explored any of this, and I'm like ecstatic that we're going to explore it with Rey, because she's honestly one of my favorite characters of all of Star Wars, not just the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that one has the most potential. It has the most potential to change the way I look at Star Wars. Whereas, like, if you were to ask me, like, hey, you can only see one of these movies, I'd go see the New Republic one.
Interesting. I guess because we have all the shows that I'm like, yeah, I can kind of figure out where we're going to be leading to. The Daisy one, I'm like,
Here's the thing. I already know I like the show.
That's true.
Right?
It's 100%
like,
true.
I know I like the characters and the writing and all that stuff associated with the shows. And if they are pulling from Heir to the Empire and that trilogy, then I want to see this, which we'll get to in a minute. Brando, what are you most excited for? Are you most excited for 10,000 AD but Star Wars?
I don't know.
1 BC with Michael Sarah, what's his name?
Yeah, Michael Cera. Yeah, Michael Cera.
Year one.
Year one.
Thank you. What did I say?
1 BC.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that's become a thing where I say the wrong thing and then always go, wait, what did I say? I've just started noticing I'm doing that a lot. Am I getting old?
Okay.
I'm interested to see where they take Rey's story, because with the Rise of Skywalker, I think we really saw the end of the Sith. So what's the new threat after that? It's kind of exhausting, honestly.
Well, I think what also came out was
there's no threat. That's just them hanging out.
That there's
2 hours.
There's people out there that don't want to see a new Jedi Order, and so
Christopher Lloyd shows up with a cane. He's like,
no more Jedi
Dooku was a visionary.
By the way, I just want to take a second to cite our sources on this stuff because we are a legitimate reporting.
Source. I made it up.
The sources, we made all this up. No, shout out to Alex and Molly Damon over at Star Wars Explained, Sean Room, who has been both of them who live tweeted all this stuff. I was following them. Resistance Broadcast, Star Wars News Net, everyone over there. So thanks to all of them for getting this out there. Was there anyone else that you guys were following that we should?
You said Star Wars News Net.
Star Wars News Net, yeah. Resistance Broadcast, Star Wars News Net, same thing.
Yeah. Well, no, they're different now.
They're different now. Oh, are they? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
They didn't used to be.
Correct. Like a couple months ago, they broke off on their own thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I should pay attention to them.
Yeah.
They're
But
like
still, I did
Night
check
Owls and
Star
the
Wars
Children
News,
of the Watch.
But,
right.
But big shout out to Sean Room, who is a fan of the show, I think.
He is now, sure.
Future friend of the show.
Well, he's a fan of us, whether or not he's a fan of the show. But
I find it hard to believe there's a fan of mine out there.
You know what? I agree.
I think I've talked to him about. He was at. I met Sean Room at Celebration last year, and he's quickly integrated himself into various communities that we're parts of. And I'll tell you what, man, he was making some connections over at Celebration this year. So big shout out to him for that because that was pretty cool. But let's jump to Ahsoka.
Yes.
Which is kind of going to be the meat of what we're going to talk about here. Because I'll tell you what, we've all been talking about it all day, and we've got some theories. I want to shout out our friend Alex's theory because I think it's really interesting. And and I want to shout out Brandon's theory that involves battle droids
Oh,
because I think it's really interesting.
Brandon, what's the theory? You got to lay it down.
Do I have a theory about
Well,
battle droids?
let's go through the stills and stuff first and talk about it, right?
Okay, yeah.
Well, I mean, how do you want to do? I mean,
Ahsoka
so
is a battle droid confirmed.
oh, yep, there we go. All right, guys, thanks so much. That's the end of the show.
Coveted B3 battle droid.
No, we're back. We're still here. We're still here. Don't worry. We're still here. What did you guys think of the Ahsoka trailer?
Pranked. I really liked it. Were those lightsabers orange or red? Let us know in the comments down below.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna go through that a little bit because we've got lots of interesting shots from this trailer, and I've just got them all in a slideshow here, so we don't.
It's pretty cool.
Harder to pull up.
Who are these guys?
Specific images. Yeah, well, we've actually seen these guys, Brandon. That's a great question.
Yeah,
these guys were in
season 2, the
of
Jedi.
Mandalorian.
Yeah,
Really?
They were on that weird fog planet
where she fought Morgan Elsbeth. Remember?
Man, Frank, these are some good stills that you pulled.
I did,
They're
right?
Like, they're like what I mean, like they're super quality, high res. Late to the party. Hey guys.
Hey,
Wow.
what's up?
Welcome. Yeah, so what'd you guys think of the Ahsoka trailer? What are your overall thoughts, impressions, all that?
I really liked it. I was not expecting, I didn't know anything about it other than they're trying to find Ezra and Thrawn was going to be involved somehow.
Okay.
So I was not expecting people with orange/red lightsabers to show up.
I wasn't either. I especially because I didn't expect them to delve into Heir to the Empire. Which
Literally.
they made that big Heir to the Empire like hint. Which
when Ahsoka says he's the heir to the Empire, I was like, damn. Well, you could also watch my reaction on this channel, by the way.
And
I was like, damn, that's cool nod. And then I feel like, oh, wait a minute. I think they're really gonna start. The question is, how much are they gonna pull from Heir to the Empire in this series? And that's exciting.
And that's
think,
something I'm gonna put into question in a minute here.
I was watching Star Wars Explained earlier, and like Alex Armali said that like when Thrawn first showed up in Rebels in the trailer for that, there was a line about like some legends are real or something.
There's a little bit of truth in
There's
legends
always
from
a bit
Ahsoka.
of truth
Yeah.
in legends.
And so this is like very similar to that, where
Which-
it's like speaking directly to the audience.
If we didn't have a little fun fact for you guys more than the audience, if we didn't have such a hard time getting the stream set up, I was gonna have a soundboard set up, and that was the first thing on the soundboard. Was there's always a bit of truth in legends.
Nice.
Second one was gonna be Roger for Brandon. But
we could do it.
Roger.
He's a human soundboard. He's a prequel
Brandon,
soundboard.
give me a good Roger.
Roger. That was bad.
That's
Yeah.
no, I think that's pretty good actually.
Yeah.
PLD Projects
You
mentions.
stupid little astro droid.
There we
Why
go.
am I reading his full name? PLD, our friend PLD, Paul Denuzzo. It says, "Can we please get Talon Card? We already have Talon Card. What are you talking about? His name's Grief Karga. 100. I mean, they feel the same. They're the same character.
I'm gonna have to go back and read Heir to the Empire and
I'm
Dark
planning
Force
on it.
Rising and what's the other one?
Heir to the Empire, Dark Force Rising, and
Why can't I think?
I don't know. It's on my shelf in my living room.
I know, but I know I've never read that one, but that's why I probably can't pull it. I will say about the Ahsoka trailer, in terms of like the trailer. The Last Command. Thank you, Andy.
Thank you, Andy.
The trailer itself was just like a deluge of just awesome imagery, and I just couldn't process it all in the first sit, and it was to that length. It was, I love that trailer because it did everything a trailer really should do, and just get you hyped and amped. And I am certainly for this series. To see Mon Mothma in this New Republic era, that's gonna be really interesting to see. Like, because we'll have seen what she's gone through in Andor a little bit during the Galactic Civil War, I guess, and now at this period, and how much she'll play a part into it, I don't know. She'll probably might pop up in Mando at some point in season 3.
It is interesting though. It'd be like watching Obi-Wan change from Ewan McGregor to Alec Guinness back to Ewan McGregor in like timeline
Yeah,
canonical
that's
fashion.
true. It's true.
So I kind of want to break some stuff down in these slides here, because man, there's some interesting stuff here.
Chop.
Chop
I love
looks
Chop.
great.
Oh my god.
I
so
love
good.
so let's just go right to the beginning and just kind of scroll through. Um,
Is this a temple, you think?
I think this is a temple. There's some of the images on here. Those images on the pillars there definitely look like some images we see in the Jedi Temple, and some of the Lothal imagery. The images on this like rock plinth that's fallen across the pathway there reminds me of Mandalorian a little bit. So Andy, you're pulling these character names. I'm not sure where these character names are from. I'm really interested.
Which one is he talking about?
So he's saying Balin Skull and Shin Hati.
Oh,
Which Balin I knew Ray Stevenson was playing Balin, but didn't know he had a full name already.
okay, cool. And Shin Hati
And
is
Shin
played
Hati,
by
I guess, would be the other.
the other. Yeah, I
Yeah.
forget her. I don't know her name.
So interesting. This is Ezra's bedroom, like straight pulled from.
Is that
Yeah, this
on
is
Lothal?
Yeah, this is Ezra's bedroom from Lothal.
Oh,
Got
I
a
didn't
girl in his
catch that.
room.
He's got a girl in his. He's got his crush in his room. This is a great shot of a Lolth cat.
Hell yeah.
No notes. No notes.
Exactly.
This is not how I would have pictured.
So Sabine, right? Long hair Sabine. We got to talk about this because,
Time has passed.
well, not yet, because in the epilogue for Rebels, she has short hair, right?
Yes.
It's okay. Is it possible she grew out her hair? Sure, but I like
You
but I
cut
think it's
it.
been talked about that the show's going to take place before that epilogue, right? Is that right, Sean? Or chat?
I've heard that.
Or it's rumored? I don't know.
I've
or,
heard
like,
that said,
speculated?
but I don't know a actual source on it. I've heard people say that, but I don't actually know that there's a confirmed source on it.
Yeah. So
Do I
let's just go with the information. Let's say that this does take place before the epilogue, because Ahsoka also, I mean, it's animation, so she looks a little bit older than she would here in this part of her story in this show. But to see a long-haired Sabine really threw me for a loop,
Because we don't
we've
ever see her.
we've
with
never
long
seen
hair.
her like with her
Yeah.
hair this long
Which-
animated, you know?
Which honestly makes me think it's later.
It's
It's really a
possible.
Sabine clone, guys.
Well, and the other thing as well, because don't they leave to go find Ezra? That means they don't find Ezra in the show. I just,
Well, that's the other thing. I don't think we're going to see Ezra in this show aside from the hologram. I think honestly, the movie is going to where we're going to Ezra's going to come back.
Yeah, that's possible. That's possible.
And like that, because that'll be a really cool moment in the theater to be like they finally found Ezra, bust him out,
Mhm.
because there's a shot of Thrawn. He's on a ship. He looks to be doing fine, right? And so he's probably somehow holding Ezra captive. And in the movie, I think they probably bust him out, and it's gonna be an awesome moment to see Ahsoka, Sabine, Ezra, maybe the rest of the Ghost crew.
Din.
Who knows? And Din, that'd be sick.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think we're going to get just like little hologram messages of Ezra and Sabine looking at old messages of Ezra, and then they, have some romantic chemistry in the movie, perhaps. Who knows? I don't know. I'm really speculating wildly over here now.
Chat. Andy's bringing up in the chat that there is some shots that were shown at the panel that showed her with short hair. And PLD is speculating there might be 2 timelines, which I did hear something about 2 timelines as well. But again, I don't know. I don't know the source on that, right? I don't know if that's just wild speculation or what.
Or some, yeah.
So this is interesting because we get the droids that were with Morgan, Elsbeth in season 2 of Mando. They look great. They don't have the 7th Fleet logo on them, so I found that interesting.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know what that means. Shot of the
Phantom.
The Phantom 2.
So yeah, Phantom 2. That's correct.
This I'm gonna say this, which was my first thought, but I also want to shout out. Eckhart's Ladder said the same thing in his review of the trailer. This reminds him of Smuggler's Run, because you're sort of chasing a ship holding a big disc.
Oh yeah.
A big coaxium container. That was literally my first thought, and then I watched his trailer review, and he said the same thing. So it was kind of cool. I think Hera looks great. While Sabine doesn't look how I expect Sabine to look, Hera I think looks spot on.
Yeah, I love this throwback jacket, this bomber jacket, and I think Mary Elizabeth Winstead looks really good as Hera. It's still a little odd to see another Rebel character in live action, but I love it because of what we're doing with these characters. It's man, it's gonna be so awesome. I can't wait. Oh my god,
I'm excited. Hera
right,
looks
Brandon?
great.
You're the biggest Rebels fan I know.
I invented Rebels, really.
Oh, did you?
I gave Dave the idea.
Yeah.
I said, what if we did like a Clone Wars show and the lightsabers were like really thin? And then he was like, dude, say less.
Yeah, Andy points out the symbol on Hera's jacket. Do you mean this one on the side here or the one on the back? Because the one on the side, I don't know what that one means, but it's on the ARC 170 wing. So I assume it's some sort of fighter pilot symbol.
Interesting.
She has a ghost symbol on the back of her jacket. Okay. I don't know that we have a shot of that anywhere here. Chopper.
Look at that shot of R2D2.
Oh my god, he looks so good. Looks so good. That's awesome.
He looks so good, and then they nailed the motion.
Yes, totally. I mean, it is phenomenal. Oh man, I can't wait to see this dude just yeet off stormtroopers and whatnot off of ships and in platforms, just being his diabolical self. Oh my gosh.
Just commit manslaughter.
Murder, not manslaughter. Actual straight up murder. He's a murder bot, and I love him for it.
I don't think he commits murder. I think he's a manslaughter bot.
Okay, well, okay.
So here we get Ray Stevenson, who I think looks amazing.
Dude, First of all, he just in general looks badass.
I want this costume. This is my next cosplay. I'm gonna wear this. You'll see me at Dragon Con wearing this.
Nice.
100%. I'm gonna talk about him a little later because I got a crazy theory, and I think.
PLD's right though.
He's Snoke.
PLD's right. We should just call the show Chopper and just be done with it. I mean,
absolutely. And then this
Can you imagine if he was Snoke?
I don't know who this actress is, but we had a name for her in the chat here. And it was Shin Hati.
Yeah.
She certainly is, Andy. I agree. PLD is getting right onto my PLD is on my train here.
But also, look
Sean
at her
loves
lightsaber.
trains.
Look how plain and there's nothing to it. It's really God damn it, Sean. Oh my god.
Hop aboard this Sully train.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I PLD, you've stumbled on my crazy theory. Yeah, she looks great. The armor is super retro.
Yeah, it looks a little
saber
Mando-ish.
is a little retro.
Yeah,
I have my
the gauntlets and
theories
stuff,
as
yeah.
well. Okay.
Do you? What do you got? Do you want to go first? Or do you want to wait till the end?
I'll just say they both look like they're wearing very old clothes. Their lightsabers look old, and they've got the whole world between worlds thing going on with Ahsoka.
Yeah.
I'm thinking these are Sith Lords from the High Republic era coming into the New Republic era.
Potentially. That's potentially
because there's another shot in here with Ray Stevenson. With
Ahsoka. We're gonna get to that.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
So yeah,
I love this shot. Lothal looks so good.
Lothal, dude. Oh my! I didn't realize how excited I am gonna be for live action Lothal. I can't. Oh man, it's gonna be
My favorite.
I'm sure it is.
I want to know why Ahsoka has a New Republic escort. Or resist. Well, I guess it's New Republic because those are
at this point you would think, yeah.
This would be pre-Resistance.
Well, she's friends with Luke Skywalker, and Luke's able to call in a favor to Leia, who's still potentially in good standing with the government at this time.
Well, I guess also Hera is a New Republic officer.
Yeah,
for the Starfighter Corps. So,
Lathan Party.
Now,
Lathan
okay,
Party,
I was gonna say Robert. I'm assuming Robert.
or Vanessa.
It could be Vanessa.
Could be their intern.
It could be their intern.
Their intern, yeah.
Kyle over at Late to the Party pointed out my second theory of Acolytes of the Beyond. So we'll get into that as well, because Acolytes of the Beyond they specifically are looking for retro Sith artifacts, right?
Mhm.
Wait, so it is Vanessa and the intern? Both, no. No, yeah, right. Like am I getting that right with the Acolytes? Because I'm not as versed on them, but I'm familiar with. My hair does weird things when I wear headphones. I'm not as versed with them, but I know that that's kind of their gimmick. They look for Sith artifacts, like they were the ones that had Vader's helmet before Force Awakens, I believe.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that, but I do like Brandon's idea of them somehow walking through the world between worlds
Potentially.
and just like mucking up stuff, and whether or not they're directly tied to Thrawn or not. I mean, that's also another
Right.
possibility.
That's another speculation. We don't know that they're
Yeah.
even involved in the same plot, right?
Yeah.
It could be a separate plot.
I sense a plot to destroy the Jedi.
And
Do you?
they very much want Vader's lightsaber. I need to go find them, because I don't know where they show up in. I just remember they showed up pre Force Awakens.
Okay.
But this shot is very reminiscent of the epilogue that we had.
A little bit, yeah.
with
Just
Sabine,
longer hair. Yeah.
with longer hair. I think.
No Mando armor.
No. Oh, I did not
Oh
notice
yeah,
that.
I didn't even think about that. That's
we
weird.
never see her out of her armor in the series, right?
Yeah.
Why would a Mandalorian take off their armor?
Why would they even take off their helmet, Brandon? It's so crazy.
That is not the way. I'll
Not
tell
the
you
way.
that right now. She does not walk the way. She doesn't even sit the way.
Great shot here of
Brandon, what is wrong?
Great shot here of the New Republic senators aboard. This looks like a New Republic Starhawk or some other New Republic starship.
Yeah.
Mon Mothma, of course, at the center of it, looking amazing.
So
However,
awesome.
I want to point out we have a name for the man on the right there.
Steve.
His name is Senator Ziono.
Oh, is he like the
Go on.
Resistance?
Kazuto Ziono.
Yeah.
So he would be Kazuto Ziono's father.
Dude, that's awesome.
Right? How cool is that?
Man.
You
That
know?
is very. Now I gotta watch Resistance over again. All right.
Yeah.
As
so
the biggest fan of
fine.
Resistance, I gotta say that's so cool.
You know what, Brandon? You would really. I know you joke, but
Oh.
you would
Oh,
love
he
Resistance.
totally. It's like way up your alley, dude. It's so.
Resistance is like, what if Star Wars but buck wild, right? Like what if Star Wars but the main point of Star Wars is pod racing? That's Resistance.
Yeah. And it's made for you, Brandon.
So yeah, I thought that was really cool that's Kaz. I also want to point out, because I'm a glutton for costuming. All the costuming looks amazing here. I want that guy on the right's outfit, or the guy on the far left's outfit.
Oh yeah,
amazing.
looking dapper.
And Mon, amazing as always. Now we have
always changing her hair.
So I don't know who this guy is. He could be anyone.
Yeah.
What I think was, have you seen the movie?
Dad. I don't know.
You seen the movie Big Fat Liar when Paul Giamatti gets turned himself blue?
Yeah, that's probably what's going on here.
It's
That's
Paul
Moff
Giamatti.
Gideon. That's
Paul
Moff Gideon.
No, it's Paul Giamatti.
He accidentally dyed his
right?
face
Yeah.
blue.
Yeah, I mean okay, so I just want to say we don't know who's cast as Thrawn yet.
No.
I think we have
I
some
think we
guesses.
know.
We'll find out tomorrow, I think.
We're gonna find out for sure tomorrow, I think.
I don't watch Rebels, but I think we know.
If not, I think we'll find out in he blew himself.
Yeah. I cannot wait. Oh, dude, I'm gonna start. Yeah, but
So-
like here, but Thrawn is like in some. I don't know if this is like
This is the
on
same
a world
room.
or a ship.
This is the same room
The
here.
ship,
Yeah,
The
it's Morgan
cup.
Elsbeth, yeah.
So
the speeder.
I believe this is a ship, but I want to point out these display screens look a lot like the viewports in Snoke's throne room.
Mm.
Oh yeah. That's
Right?
right. That's a good call. Yeah.
Interesting.
So I
Well,
think it's
those are
some
like-
sort of observation deck, maybe.
Because those had like magnifying glass like effect too,
Right.
right?
Yeah, But these look like they have some other sort of mapping software on them as well.
Mm.
But the way they're positioned right in that big viewport, and I assume there's 2 more viewports to the right and left here as well. And am I wrong? Is this Morgan
Yeah,
Morgana?
Morgan Elsbeth. Morgan Elsbeth. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there we go. Morgan Elsbeth.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, it looks like the same ship or dwelling. I don't know if it's a ship. Well, I mean, this looks like the ship, like a
Yeah.
ship, I guess.
yeah, this looks like the
Um,
same ship, except here he's planet side, and here he's in
Yeah.
orbit.
Mm.
Yeah.
So that's super interesting.
But it's interesting that Thrawn is looking all cozy and clean and walking around, and you don't see Ezra besides a hologram, and so yeah, it makes me wonder how
going on?
far are we past them with the Purgle, and what happened to the Purgle? Like
You don't see a single Purgle.
like
Yeah,
how did he
yeah.
how did he escape the Purgle? Because they wrapped him up. So I
Sure.
mean, I don't know.
And then we get another shot of
Looks
Ray
awesome.
Stevenson. Yeah, here the armor looks old, and the stitching on that surcoat, I think would be the proper term,
Mm-hmm.
or
I haven't-
calder.
I have an idea.
Okay.
It's kind of bouncing off of Brandon's here. What if like Ahsoka is going into the world between worlds and inadvertently helps these other older, let's say acolytes, right, through, and they buzz through, and now like part of Ahsoka's thing is she's looking for Thrawn, but she's got to like
She's
hunt
also
these guys down and bring them back to wherever they're from.
put them
maybe.
back,
I don't
put them back where they came from, or so help. her.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know.
mean,
I don't know. It's crazy. I don't know.
I want to point out, you bring up World Between Worlds. I want to point out a couple things here. So you bring up World Between Worlds, the background there.
Yeah.
That is that cavern wall where we see Ahsoka fight Ray Stevenson.
Mm-hmm.
It does have a World Between Worlds vibe. The other thing is look at that saber hilt. Right? Like that looks retro as hell.
Totally.
Looks very old. Looks like
but-
some Witch King of Angmar stuff, man.
A little bit, man. I'll tell you what. I want to look as good as Ray Stevenson when I get older. I need to lose some weight first. We get Hera on a New Republic starship, a shot that really is reminiscent of Star Wars Squadrons.
Yes,
this is
totally.
Her
I was thinking
exact
that too.
outfit for Squadrons.
What's her rank there? Is that general? Does that mean general or
I believe
the
she's a general.
5?
Yeah, and Late Party brings a good point. If they are collecting artifacts, they would definitely be using old armor. And yeah, it gives them an early Knights of Ren feel. Absolutely. I think this
totally.
is what I wanted out of the Knights of Ren, right? Like,
Oh, sure.
like I wanted this vibe out of the Knights of Ren.
Instead, they were just little babies who like to
Well, they just
pollute
were-
space with their
they just-
ship with all
they
that.
just weren't
smog.
properly utilized in the film, right? They could have been used better.
Sure.
All right, and then we get a great shot of Ahsoka again in that Ray Stevenson room.
She looks
She's-
cool as a cucumber fighting this guy.
Yeah.
She looks
And only
cool
one
as-
blade.
She looks cool as hell. One blade, kind of fighting almost like very samurai style, which is
Totally.
kind of cool.
She's got this look on her eye. She's like, "I've literally fought Darth Vader. You're nothing."
I think the look. I think the look on her eyes is, man, these contacts are really bugging me.
Right.
So 5 red dots just means they're commanders of some form. So it
Royal
doesn't
commanders, I
denote
see.
exact rank. I'm
Okay. I'm gonna
Um,
call her general though.
guessing. To me, she's royalty.
Yeah.
We get a better shot of Stevenson's costume here. Very interesting. More of that weird world back here.
Yeah.
And I want to point something out. If you look in the in not the background or the foreground, but the midground behind Ahsoka, you could see those lines are not projected on a wall. They're free floating.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever's projecting that is just kind of projecting in an empty space. Really cool. I have no idea what's going on,
Yeah, and I love it.
but I love it. I want to know, and I want more. And then we see him kind of in a Darth Vader hallway scene.
This shot though makes his lightsaber look exactly like a Force effect
Yeah.
lightsaber, like straight.
Yeah,
up.
That's the thing with the Force effects lightsabers, the red ones for some reason in real life they look like that. Like it's hard to make it like have that white center for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So that's why it like looks like it's like they just used one, didn't do a lot of like VFX work to clean it up afterwards, which is like
sure. Well,
I
you know
think
what? Hey,
some of the
maybe.
confusion.
So yeah, maybe if we had like a science guy on the channel who could break down why that happens,
Yeah, we should
that'd be
get one
pretty
of them. Yeah.
cool. Oh, we
I
get
don't
the
know.
shot of Ezra. Spot on Ezra, man.
This is
Exact costume, although it's like adult Ezra in the same clothes.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say like what version of like I'd like to think this is an old recording like that he left right before he was taken, right? Just maybe just for Sabine, and she found it, maybe, and she just like watches it as like I gotta find this guy.
Well, but I
You
believe
know?
this shot. I believe this shot is back in Ezra's room where we saw her in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got that little Jedi comm link from episode 1, which is dope. I think it's just a still image because we just see him standing still, not saying anything.
Well,
It's
I
a
think-
quick cut, so we don't. I could be wrong.
yeah,
but,
yeah.
I want to point out in the late to the party and Andy are both pointing out that 5 red means general, so that is general.
Yeah, I got
Um,
it without even really knowing.
But
But it made
hello, Jake Berlin.
sense. Jake
hey,
Berlin.
speaking of Jake Berlin, shameless plug. On Thursday this week, you'll be able to find me Thursday evening over on the Whiskey Jedi. It's kind of like Scoundrels Drink, but slightly more professional. Jake and I will be talking all about Celebration, doing more of this. So you'll see plenty of us this
Nice.
week talking about it.
Nice.
But Frank, we got to get you on there. How do you feel about whiskey?
I like whiskey. Yeah,
Great. I'll book.
I
you
like
on
what
there.
it does to my bloodstream.
To your senses.
Yeah.
Here we've got an Imperial breaking yard here. They're breaking down some Star Destroyers. Now, my speculation is this is the same planet we see Hera flying above earlier in the Phantom 2.
Yeah, I think so.
But
See those guys in the background though, just watching them fight?
Yeah, they're just like, what the
Oh,
hell is
yeah.
going
this
on?
is cool.
which is totally, you know what? That's totally what would happen in Star Wars. Like in real
Oh my
life,
god, yeah.
right? They'd just be
Well, not
looking
only
at this
that,
like,
but
oh, you don't
like
have a
if
better
this-
shot of the Inquisitor. But okay, so the Inquisitor, if you look straight on, it's totally an Inquisitor. There's some speculation on which one, but they've got an Inquisitor lightsaber, and the saber is actually red.
Yeah.
So I don't know when that takes place.
you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna I'm gonna put this image in Photoshop, take the ink dropper thing, and see what the hexadecimal code is.
I'm really interested. I'm really interested in that, actually.
Just to put some science behind it.
I'm really interested in that. Like, honestly, I'm not even blowing smoke. And then we get, this guy whose name I can never fucking remember.
C3PO.
C3PO, human cyborg relations. No, we get the Doctor Who himself. David Tennant. Well, I was reading PLD's comment and just went, is that possible? Let's talk about that.
No.
PLD.
That would, I mean,
Given that
Ahsoka
power.
history. That could, I mean, that'd be wild.
We get the Doctor Who himself,
Hell
Jodie
yeah,
Whittaker.
David Tennant.
Here, my bad. David Tennant as this guy whose name escapes me again.
Hu Yang, right?
Yeah, correct. As the Jedi lightsaber training droid. Why is he here? Or is it a different one? Is it possible there were multiple models? of
It's
this
his
guy?
voice, though. I mean, I guess.
Okay, but that
I mean,
doesn't
yeah.
mean,
Well, I mean, not every C3, not every protocol droid has C3PO's voice. You know,
Yeah,
no,
remember that.
but
Remember TC14?
that's right.
but every
Oh.
K2 kind of sounds
Oh.
like K2.
well,
The
I mean,
ambassadors were 2 Jedi Knights.
it would
I
be really
believe.
weird to
Andy-
like just throw in.
Andy points out, well, but not if it's just a lightsaber training droid and they want some continuity. But yeah, I agree. I would think it's the same one. Andy points out he showed up in a big blue box.
I hope he has a sonic screwdriver. To tell you the truth, that'd be sweet.
PJ and I were so excited to see the Doctor back as Hu Yang. Yeah, absolutely. I had said to Jill, it's wild that we're getting David Tennant in live action Star Wars, and she was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I'm like, "Go listen to the droid again." Right?
Yeah.
Because she's not as familiar with the Clone Wars as the rest of us obsessives are. Ahsoka looks great here. I love the poncho look. The sabers look amazing. I feel like the main hand saber got longer, the hilt itself, but it looks great. Looks nice and clean.
It's awesome. Just a badass, man.
What you can do with a hilt that long? Come on.
I don't know. And then
Shorten
we got
that
this.
up.
Then we got
Shorten
the
that up.
logo with the World Between Worlds / orrery / map thing going on.
Yeah.
And then back to the start again. So here's what I want to throw out.
Okay, throw it out there.
Darth Jar Jar
This is
confirmed.
the tinfoil. This is tinfoil time. We talked about how they point out heir to the Empire, right? Ahsoka says that Thrawn wants to be the heir to the Empire, which is the title of Timothy Zahn's first Thrawn novel, which features a character named Joruus C'baoth, who is a clone of a Clone Wars era Jedi. He's a little bit of a megalomaniac and kind of wants to conquer the galaxy for himself and is going about it in different ways. He's a wacko.
Yeah.
But the plot basically centers around a couple things. It centers around Thrawn trying to find the Katana fleet, which is a fleet of automated ships that were lost during the Clone Wars. They're droid automated ships lost during the Clone Wars. And it centers around Thrawn trying to start a new clone army with using the biosample of Sinterfell, who is a TIE fighter ace. And it centers around Thrawn using cloned Jedi to achieve his goals. So all of these things kind of add up. We got a Freezy Frank. Frank's back.
No, I'm good.
All of these things.
I was just really still. Sorry.
Yeah, you were moving so slow. It's like you were invisible. All these things kind of add up to my crazy crackpot theory. I think Ray Stevenson and Miss Hottie are clones.
Are clones.
I think they are, because we've had in Mandalorian and Bad Batch and Rise of Skywalker and everything kind of coming together to hint that the Empire and Thrawn and Gideon are working on Force-sensitive clones. I think they're fucking clones, man!
It's possible. Yeah.
How does this play into the Emperor's work?
They would be like samples. They would be samples of what he's trying to make for himself.
They're like beta tests,
Because if he has a Force-sensitive clone at this point that doesn't look all jacked up like Snoke,
okay, so we're going to talk about.
That's actually a good point. Actually, that's a good point by Brandon.
So I will say, when I was talking to, I texted Alex about this morning because I'm like, I need someone who's read Heir to the Empire and who like is going to kind of know what I'm talking about and give a fuck what I'm about to say. And he had his own crazy theory, so I felt better giving him my crazy theory. But I made a point of saying that I know that Rise of Skywalker kind of invalidates that. Rise of Skywalker points out that, implies that clones cannot hold Force-sensitive bodies. I want to give my own interjection to that. A clone was not able to hold Palpatine's spirit. That does not mean that a clone cannot hold another Force-sensitive's biomaterial. Palpatine is his own fucking, right?
That's
dark side entity, right? Beyond a physical body, Palpatine is a crazy, insane dark side entity, right? Above and beyond. Even though they were Force sensitives, you stick Palpatine in there, it might start rotting away just the same. The other thing, we don't know my mic has an auto adjust for the volume. I'm gonna see if I can turn that off. That's probably not helping. But I just updated the firmware on my mic, which is probably why it's doing that. Wave gain lock. Let's do that.
Yeah, gain lock should work for you.
So it keeps auto adjusting my volume and I keep fixing it. But yeah, so that's my crazy crackpot theory. If I'm wrong, great, whatever. But if we're gonna go with there's always a little truth in Legends and everything that's been laid out in Bad Batch and The Mandalorian and everything we're adding up to be, I think that that's my most likely theory right now. Right? It's a callback to Joruus C'baoth and Luke
You got a little
who's
loud there, Sean. Is it just me?
oh, am I
way
too
loud.
loud? How's that? Is that better?
Yeah. Yeah, that's better.
I don't know
That's
why I
not
keep
better.
becoming Pee Wee Herman.
Secret word is loud.
Today's secret word is orange. Orange. Um,
Oh my gosh.
These lightsabers are
It's mayhem.
yeah. So I think that's my crazy crackpot theory, and then the reason they're orange lightsabers is because they're not kyber crystals; they're synthetically developed crystals, like what we had in Legends canon.
Do you think we're gonna get bigger Luke in this?
Yeah, I think personally that Ray Stevenson is a combination of Grogu's biomass, Palpatine's biomass, and Luke's biomass, resulting in an even bigger Luke.
Wow. Interesting.
So
Very
the other theories, I really like the Acolytes of Beyond thing, because if Ahsoka is looking for these Jedi like pilgrimage sites, like the World Between Worlds, or this strange like map room. Which, by the way, the map room really reminds me of the silent cartographer from Halo. The first Halo, there's the map room that you go to. It really reminds me of that. So I feel like if Ahsoka's hunting these places down and weird artifacts to try to find Ezra, like, yeah, she's going to be running into the Acolytes, if that's them. And then the third theory, I'm going to shout out Alex Damon's theory, because I really like it. He said, what if Ray Stevenson is Bane, and... the other girl is Hottie is his apprentice.
That'd be wild.
Which, if we've got World Between Worlds, yeah, that's totally a possibility. It makes sense with the old style lightsabers and all these things. Maybe he's using a pseudonym, or maybe just Lucasfilm's talking about him with a pseudonym to not reveal it. I like that crazy theory.
Was bald.
It's crazy out there. Well, you're thinking of Burn. We're talking about Darth Bane.
Darth Bane also is not bald.
Was also, well, he was a ghost. All the ghosts we see in the Yoda arc are bald. For some reason. I don't know.
Snoke is bald.
Snoke is bald.
Yeah,
Snoke is Darth Bane confirmed. Yeah, and Balin and Bane are pretty close. If you're going to use a fake name for Bane, you may as well.
I mean, that's just a weird, like, be like Joe. Like,
yeah,
Joe Sith.
I'm
Joe Sith.
Henceforth, you shall be known as Darth Joseph.
Yeah. I know that's what I
Rise.
love about this trailer, is that I really don't know what's going to happen, but it also lends itself to immense speculative fun, So, and that's one of my favorite parts about Star Wars. It's kind of like coming up with our own crackpot theories of like, oh, they can do this and do that, and it's a lot of fun to talk about. And also, and then if you're right, you feel like a genius for 25 minutes, and if you're not right, then you're like, man, that was still awesome.
Hey, remember that time I was right? The last time I was right about a clone?
Yeah, I don't know if you're right about this one though.
I still feel good about that one. It was longer than 25 minutes.
Well,
so
good for you.
But I totally was gonna make that joke earlier, and I forgot about it until you brought up being right about a theory.
You're welcome.
That my theories now is just everyone's a clone.
Everyone's a clone. Yeah.
Yeah. Who's Paz Vizsla? I bet he's a clone of Pre Vizsla. That's the only thing that makes sense. Any other thoughts about the trailer, Ahsoka? I'm so excited for this, man.
August can't come soon enough. I think it's so. I guess we're gonna get all of August and all of September is Ahsoka. I think it's probably 8 episodes, probably, right? So
yeah,
all of August, all of September, and then Skeleton Crew probably starting in December.
Probably last week in November, I think, is usually when they do it. It'll be
I could see them doing
week.
like maybe. I don't know. That's pretty close. But
I think that's because I think Mando originally started on November 13th.
Oh, I don't.
The first season, it might have been December 13th, or but around then, right? So I think you're totally right. Yeah, I'm shocked it's so quick.
But it's also not.
It's also
it
not.
is, but it isn't.
Well, it means we've got the next couple months to dive into Jedi Survivor and Rebels.
Yeah, that's right. Oh man, it's gonna be so fun going
yeah.
back and watching.
Brandon,
And just like knowing where we're going. Oh.
Yeah. Brennan, are you gonna rewatch? Are you gonna watch Rebels for this?
I'm gonna rewatch Rebels. I've already seen
Yeah,
it
because
so
you've
many
definitely
times.
seen it so many times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like we've
a
all
rat
seen
in
Kevin's
the desert.
movies.
I've seen some of it, but like, remember he keeps wanting to do like these screenings and stuff, and he's
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Hey,
I know.
Wait. So
I
like,
will not be watching anything unless it's catered with wings, like I was promised.
Yeah, Kevin promised us a watch party catered
Mambo
with wings
style, guy.
that we would record for the Patreon. Now you'll notice Kevin moved away. We don't have a Patreon, and I still see no wings. So, all right. Moving forward, we're going to talk about a little bit about some of what was shown for the other 3 series.
Yeah, they show stuff
Andor,
for
Skeleton Crew, and Acolyte.
Yeah, which
So
I have not seen any of this stuff. I know you've.
Well, you've seen what was shown on stage, right? Not what was shown in the trailers.
For which one are you talking about?
All of them. They showed stuff on stage for all of them.
No, I haven't seen anything from those.
Okay.
From that.
So, I don't have any notes for this. We were just kind of, because this is a little more off the cuff. But one of the actresses for Acolyte came on stage with a Wookiee.
Yes.
And the Wookiee is played by Jonas Suotamo.
Jonas? Yeah. Which is so awesome. I'm really happy for that dude. Like, he's great, and I can't wait to see him as a Jedi Wookiee. That's gonna be fun.
Gunji.
Sorry.
Is his name like Cal Naka or something like that?
I was reading Late to the Party's comment. They're rewatching Rebels right now, and it's weird because Sabine has glasses and a NASA shirt, looking nothing like we remember her.
Yeah.
I was like, what is he? Oh. I feel dumb now.
You think
I really want to rewatch
Mandalorian?
I really want to rewatch Rebels. Like,
You know, it's funny because I rewatched Rebels while watching Andor, and what wasn't that long ago, but it's never a bad time to restart Rebels.
It's so good.
It's like,
it's so good.
oh,
yeah. So the Wookiee was not, because there is the Buryaga is the High Republic Wookiee Jedi, and this is another Wookiee Jedi, not Buryaga. But I don't know his name. It was a new name. I did not remember it.
it's like Cal Naka or something like that. Cal Naka or something.
Yeah, something with a K or a C, but I don't remember what it was.
Yes, it has those letters.
They also showed it. They showed a trailer. They said they have 4 episodes done for this series.
Yeah,
done, which is a lot. Meaning we're probably going to get this pretty quick into next year.
Well, they said 2024, but they didn't specify when.
They didn't say when. So I'm guessing we're going to get it a whole hell of a lot sooner.
I think probably spring 2024.
Just give it right now.
Maybe.
That's just gonna be my guess. That's just gonna be my guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping spring. I'm hoping that it'll take the place of Mando, where Mando aired this year.
Oh, that's a good point.
You know, I hope that's where Acolyte will air next year. And I'm okay with these longer times between seasons as long as we're getting other shows in those places, right? Like, if it's longer than a year between seasons, that's fine, so long as we have other shows, airing. But yeah, and then they also showed a trailer. We didn't get to see the trailer. I did not actually see this trailer leak, but I know it's out there. People have seen it. I've heard
there's like Carrie-Anne Moss fight sequence or some part of a sequence.
Yeah, there's a lot of fight sequences. There's a lot of Jedi. There's a lot of new lightsaber colors, which is great. Which not new, like Rey has a yellow lightsaber, but stuff we're not used to seeing in Jedi of the Order. Who is Paul?
Denuzio? What are you talking about? What are you doing? What are you talking about?
Paul's a clone of Jake. Oh, I see. Okay, no, we're talking about Paul Denuzzo and Jake Iacovetta. I'm so excited for the Acolyte because I know nothing about it. But apparently we're gonna get lots of weird aliens. Yeah, the pitch for this show.
I was about to say
was Frozen meets Kill Bill.
That's insane.
What
to
a
me.
pitch for a show.
Favorite movies.
What a pitch for a show, right?
That
And
sounds
then-
amazing to me.
There was another quote about how the point of the show is to explore the Force, not about like how powerful it is, but about who uses it and how.
Well, it's about
And-
how they infiltrate and disrupt the Jedi.
Sure, but I have a feeling based on that pitch, I think whoever our central character is going to be not necessarily evil, but just brought up in the wrong circumstances to bring them closer to the Sith.
I mean, yeah,
Right?
you're gonna have some Elsa and what's the other Elsa and whatever her other name
Anna?
is. Anna. They're gonna have. I think you probably will see that dynamic,
Sure.
somewhat of that dynamic in the show, and then you have the Kill Bill of it all, which gives you more of that, kind of like hunt down type of assassin.
I wonder if that's tied to the Carrie Ann Moss
yeah,
character,
maybe.
right?
Yeah.
That's my prediction, because I know there's a younger lead aside from Carrie Ann Moss.
There's Daphne Keene and what's the other? I forget the other name. Damn it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have notes on this one, so because we're gonna dive pretty deep into Ahsoka, and I know some people don't want to be spoiled by
Yeah.
the trailers that we haven't seen yet. So,
But it supposedly it has like the tone or style of Andor, like that more serious type of tone. So, but just it's gonna be Andor, but with like lightsabers.
yeah,
in a
I'm into
sense,
it. I'm into
which
it.
is like super sick.
I'm super down for this show. I think this is the one that I'm most excited for.
And Sternberg.
Amandla.
Sternberg?
Well, no, it's
Mandla,
Amandla.
Mandla.
There's
Yeah,
an
Mandla.
L
I forgot,
for
yeah,
some
yeah.
reason.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because she showed up as she cosplays as Padme at the panel, which was like what a way to get over with the audience. I mean,
Padme is Snoke confirmed.
Jesus.
Yeah. Those of you lucky enough to still have your lives, take them with you. However, leave the limbs you lost. They belong to me now. Elsa, after she destroyed an entire army with frostbite. Is that a thing that happens?
Damn, that's hard.
I have not seen Frozen, FYI. I know the
neither.
plot. I know the plot of Frozen from Kingdom Hearts 3,
Okay.
which gives you the whole plot of Frozen. So I decided I
Interesting.
never needed to watch the movie.
And also, Jill, I think that's right. I think you're right, Jill. I think that's
Amandla Sternberg is Rue. Okay. Interesting.
or at least she is in the Acolyte. I mean, I'm not double checking my names here, but anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but-
I'm really excited for this show because it's gonna be a darker tone and it's not all Jedi and happy-go-lucky.
Well, except it
Din
is.
Djarin and Grogu.
Right, it is Jedi, because apparently there's one
Well, I
shot.
mean, yeah, but
there's,
like
apparently there's one
they're
shot
not
in the
the central
trailer.
focus. Yeah.
Right, but apparently there's one shot of the trailer with like 8 Jedi standing there igniting their lightsabers.
Damn.
So I want to know whatever causes that, because that's, whenever you get a bunch of Jedi on screen, I'm down. Next we've got Andor. Not much to say about Andor. But
I will say, they did stream on the making of the Andor season 1 panel on Star Wars YouTube channel. So if you want to watch that, I did. One nugget that they ended up sharing that I was like kind of blown away by was, in the third episode when Cassian meets Luthen in like that warehouse type of back, whatever, and those things are all falling. That was practical. Those practical objects falling. Yeah, I was like, "Are you kidding me? That's insane."
yeah,
Like, I actually, if you really love Andor, I really recommend go watching their panel. It's on Star Wars YouTube channel. It's like there's some really good information in there about season 1, and man, they work their asses off on that show.
I can't.
Like,
I do want to watch
holy
that. I
hell.
kind of can't wait. So, man, we've almost gone as long as they did their panel for.
Well,
But they did show an Andor trailer. Sadly, B2 Emo was not in it, and neither was K2SO.
that's fine. We know they're in there.
So I know it's a bad trailer.
Not enough droids. Fair enough.
But apparently,
Not
it did a
enough
good.
Marva.
It did a good job of.
No,
Shit.
Brandon.
Apparently, the trailer did a good job of showcasing that yes, there will be time jumps this season. And it kind of followed the format of the original reveal trailer from Celebration last year or before that, whenever it came out. Who knows? You can't look it up. You can't prove it. Whenever it came out. But last we've got Skeleton Crew, which they had Jude Law come out on stage with 3 of the child actors.
3 of the 4.
Apparently, one of the children is going to be a Max Rebo, which is
Max Rebo. Wow,
which is
taking over the band.
What are they called? They're called. Hold on.
Children. What do you? I don't. What are you talking about?
Max Rebo's species. Oh, it's gonna come to me.
I don't know.
I don't know that it's gonna, because
Ortolan? You guys don't know.
I don't know.
You guys, someone tell me in the chat. Is it Ortolan? Did I get it right? Blue Elephant Boy. Anyways, one of them is a Blue Elephant Boy. We also know that apparently it will focus a little bit on the parents of the children that have run away. So that's super interesting. But I don't know, man. Like, this show still has...
Did they say that Jude Law was Force sensitive, his character?
Apparently there is a hint in the trailer that he might be Force sensitive. And then they say, "Are you a Jedi?" And they cut.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Interesting.
This show's got me super intrigued.
You think it's Broom Boy's dad?
I hope it's Lor Santeca. I still hope he's Lor Santeca.
Maybe. I wouldn't be mad about
cool.
it, but I doubt it.
No.
He's Broom Boy from the World Between Worlds.
Jill says she thinks they confirmed that he's Force sensitive.
He's in there sweeping in the World Between Worlds. Like, hey, can you take your fight somewhere else? I'm just sweeping.
Hey, I'm sweeping here. Hey, I've got this ring that some lady left me. It's out of a cereal. It's out of a cereal box. See, if I spin it, it's got a secret code.
Oh, he's Dumbledore. My bad. Yeah. Thanks, PLD.
One of the images definitely gave me a Lor. Yeah, his whole character gives me a Lor Santeca vibe, and I'm really hoping that's who it is. Because we don't know that Lor Santeca isn't Force sensitive.
It's true.
Right? We don't have any reason to believe he is.
I mean, also
true.
I mean, he's a part of the Church of the Force, right?
Sure, but that doesn't mean that they're Force sensitive. Also, I will point out in Dr. Aphra, there are some gloves that were used during the High Republic that will imitate Force sensitivity. So that could possibly be what's going on. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I didn't see this footage.
Haja also imitated. So like,
oh yeah,
if he's
that's true. Fucking Camille Nanjiani.
Yeah.
I will say this show super intrigues me. Apparently, it gives Mad Amblin vibes.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that we just see an ET in this series.
That would be
right.
I mean,
like,
yeah, just a little glimpse.
Like they're canon. Throw an ET in there, you know, or a Mogwai, right? Like just
whoa.
If we could have Jack Black and Lizzo, we can get ET in a Mogwai.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, anything's possible now. I guess.
Which, by the way, we had freaking Mr. Shmee in an episode 2 episodes ago.
Yes,
as well, right? Ugnaught Shmee. So I don't know. What do you guys think overall of all of this? What do you think?
Well, I think they dropped a lot of info.
They did
a lot of good stuff. Mm-hmm. I was surprised at how much we got today, which makes me believe it's gonna. I mean, tomorrow's not gonna top today, so like it's just hard to. It's like
we know. So we know there's a couple things that we know that I'm kind of staying off. Gonna try my hardest to stay off. It's so complicated, right? Because I can't stay off Twitter because we got to follow the news. But also, a few hundred people at Celebration saw the next episode of Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Right.
And some stuff are leaking. I know there's some screenshots out there.
I haven't seen.
I haven't seen them, but I know they're out there.
I kind of know. I know that they showed the opening scene during the panel, and I kind of heard at least the subject matter of the opening scene.
As did I.
And I'm down for it. I'm so excited.
Oh, hell yeah.
But also, like, I don't know, just give us that, like, just release that, right? Don't make us find out about it on the from people tweeting about it,
it's
right?
the next episode. It's coming out in.
I know,
you
but
4 or
that's
5
why,
days.
because it's the next episode and because it's a little 3-minute clip, just release the 3-minute clip. Like, you don't have anything to lose. We're still going to watch the episode,
I mean, true.
you know? So,
But I mean, even still, they can release it and I still wouldn't watch it. But that's just me.
oh, I would absolutely watch it.
I know you would.
Because we were supposed to do a reaction to the Ahsoka trailer together, and I was half asleep, forgot about it, and just watched it.
Yeah.
And then went, oh shit, we were supposed to do a reaction.
And I'm sitting here, I can't believe I can't watch this thing. And then I find out you watched it. And I'm like, well, that's it. I'm watching it.
I watched it too. I didn't care.
Well,
would it be wild if like Brandon's first exposure to the Ahsoka trailer was just the slides?
Was those slides? Yeah. He'd be like, I didn't even watch it. Wait, somehow he watched it in his car on the way here.
Yeah.
Like
the way
he does the
that
episodes.
Dave Filoni intended.
Yeah. Look, guys, tomorrow we will be doing this. Well, most likely, we don't know. If no news comes out and there's nothing new to learn from the Ahsoka panel or any of the other panels, we might not stream. Maybe we'll do a short little stream. I don't know. We'll find out. Probably
like Jill's chat.
What?
So Ray's coming back. Just like
so Ray's coming back. Well, that was the moment that I went, because I was kind of scrolling through Twitter. I woke up at like 5 a.m. on accident. I wasn't intending to. I wanted to sleep more. But I woke up at like 5 a.m., opened Twitter, and I'm like scrolling through. I'm like, okay, Ahsoka trailer. Like, I know that's going to happen, whatever. And then I saw announced 3 Star Wars movies. Ray's coming back? Okay, I got to see everything. And then I just dove in, right? Once I saw that, I'm like, I got to know. I got to know everything that's going on.
It was tough. It's tough because I inadvertently woke up at 5:30 in the morning over here, West Coast time, and looked at my phone. I'm like, oh my God, news is dropping. Avert my eyes. And
it is,
and then that would all
John Booth, I woke up to pee and everything changed. Yeah, like 100%, man.
True words, man. That is wild.
Oh boy. Anyways,
Brandon,
Brandon,
before we wrap up,
yeah.
I was watching all of the live celebration stage stream, and let me tell you something. I absolutely adore the trio of Carl Weathers, Emily Swallow, and Giancarlo Esposito when they were on the stage. Oh my God, they were so much fun. And Carl Weathers, this man is a national hero. He is incredible with the audience out there, and I am so glad he is a part of Star Wars, that he's Grief Karga, that he's directing. I like, you can just really sense the passion from Carl Weathers on how much he really understands like the space that he is in and the opportunity that that he's afforded. And I just could not gush more about how awesome Carl Weathers is. And that goes for Emily Swallow and Giancarlo Esposito, because they brought so much energy and enthusiasm when they were up there on that stage. And I was like, man, this is why I love Mandalorian. It's because of these people that are on these shows, and they're putting all this effort into it. And that's not to say other guests on the stage didn't do equally as funny or informative or insightful. But those 3 really just stood out to me. Actually, even Adria Arjona, Kyle Soler is his name, and Denise Scout, they were from Andor. They were up there. They were great too. A lot of good stuff. So if you haven't watched,
I plan on it.
Celebration
I
live
just
stream.
Honestly got home from work and started putting the stream
I'm just
together.
saying, I recommend it. It's not it's a good time, and I think they've been clipped.
I actually have a quote. I have a quote from Carl Weathers' time up there talking about directing for The Mandalorian. He said, you throw in some Grogu, you throw in some Mandalorian, you get some pirates. Now you got a stew going. And I just
be peace.
What a great look
Hashtag
at directing. I just. Anyways, thanks everyone so much. I gotta eat some dinner.
Okay.
But we will be back. Some din. We'll be back tomorrow morning. We don't have an exact time. We're kind of gonna see where the news is at and honestly see where we all wake up. But probably 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. Pacific. Most likely closer to the 10 a.m. Maybe 9 a.m. Maybe we'll throw ourselves a curveball. Who knows? I'm gonna go get some chicken wings. How do I end this? Is there a button to end this?
Dude,
Scoundrel. Scoundrel. I like the sound of that.